Is it hard raising twins with Down syndrome? Yes, it is. It's really hard. So, when they were first born, we had family in from Australia. They were living with us for, I think, about 4 to 6 weeks to help us get a routine, get established, sort of get down some basics, help with Olivia, who was 15 months old at the time, and just get our wits about us while we're trying to figure out everything all at once. At that time, when we planned that, we did not know that we were going to be having the Down syndrome situation. So we had the boys, we came home. I pretty much didn't come out of our bedroom for 2 weeks. I think I stayed in there. I didn't want to come out. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to see anyone. I was sick of breastfeeding. I was trying to breastfeed. I was having a hard time. They have the low muscle tone. I'm trying to breastfeed twins. It's difficult anyway. I was dealing with all that. When I wasn't breastfeeding, I was having to pump. So that was fun. I was in depression. I was dealing with the emotion and the anxiety of the new life I was going to be living. I was trying to help my husband through it at the same time. It was a lot, okay? A lot in the beginning. Once I got my wits about me, I think I sort of perked up a little and decided that I have to do a lot for these boys, so I need to learn therapies. I need to learn the best providers that will be able to come into our house. What are we going to do about work? Just all those kinds of things. So I started doing a little digging, doing a little research. My husband decided to step away from his job for about a year. We are very fortunate we were able to do that. So I went back to work as a nurse anesthetist, and he took the first year off. We decided that it would be best if they could stay home while getting through this first few milestones, and we were okay with them going to childcare once they were able to walk. And that was kind of what the initial thought was. He and I did really well at tag teaming on the sleep situation, on going to the grocery store, doing all that sort of stuff so that we didn't have to take all three kids out all at once. And we did invest in a good stroller that was like a 3-kid stroller. Tried to not use that in the grocery store. But yeah, so we kind of got it down to where with the twins, we decided that if one woke up and needed to eat, then they were both going to get up. So they got on the same routine. He changed clothes and diapers of one while I was feeding the other, and then we flip-flopped, and then we put them back down to go to bed. So we had a pretty quick routine, and the boys, luckily, were very good and adapted really quickly. Okay, move forward into when they're a little bit older and they're starting to complete some of their milestones. So this was a lot going on in terms of therapists coming into the house. We were also trying to take care of Olivia, made sure that she was good. She was going to daycare at the time. Coordinating medical stuff, we were visiting Duke at the time. We were doing tonsils, we were getting strep throat, we were going through tubes and all sorts of stuff. So we had medical issues. Luckily, Matt was at home. We were able to work that out pretty easily in the first couple years. So once he went back to work, it was a little tougher. We had to, at the last minute, try and recruit some help for staying home with the kids when they were sick. And we had, 3 in daycare. And at that time, not only was it expensive, but if one got sick, they all got sick. And so we had to use brothers and sisters, we had to use parents, we had to use cousins. We had to do all that sort of stuff in order for me not to lose my job. So we kind of rotated through all that. Finding therapies was also difficult if we wanted to bring in something new. Once school started, we thought, wow, we've got a raise. We don't have to pay for this private childcare anymore. So, but school started, the kids went to school. They still did get sick a little bit on and off, not nearly as bad. The kids did really well in school. They loved it, fortunately. It was a little bit more difficult for Max because socially is a little more challenged than Nick. And, we say he's autistic, whether he is or not 100% sure, but has tendencies that way. So was very particular with the teacher. We had to intervene a lot. The IEPs started. We had to have behavior therapy and that sort of stuff like in the beginning. So it's a lot. There's a lot of things that you have to think about and consider that typical families don't realize or have any idea about. Once they got a little bit older, Nick got much easier. Max has gone through phases. He's gone through phases where he's had preferential teacher. We've had preferences on teachers, moments of caregivers where we had to intervene because he didn't like them, wasn't going to behave, wasn't going to follow instructions or listen to whoever it was. He would have meltdowns, and he would throw things, fight, resist. I had to carry him out some places, and that is never good. So over time, we've learned what works and what doesn't work. But, I would say in the early teenage years, probably when they're going through puberty, was hell. It was very difficult. And lots of attitude, lots of resistance. And we've never had any issues with food. We've never had any eating issues. They are not picky eaters, which is very fortunate. But now we're kind of in a phase, so they're 17 now, and I would say that we are probably, knock on wood, in one of the best phases we've been in, and combined, because we can actually leave the boys alone. They can get themselves in the house, they can look after themselves, they can make themselves some food, they know what to use, what not to use, they know how to swim. I don't worry about the pool. They can take care of the dogs and that sort of thing. So not that I would leave them alone overnight at this stage, but we've definitely reached an independent living stage daily, for activities of daily living. So when I'm asked, is it hard? I don't even know what hard is anymore. I've been through a lot, and we've been through a lot of phases. So yeah, everything's pretty much, I think, a challenge, and we take it day by day. We have good days, we have bad days. There are more good days lately, which I am very thankful for. The boys seem very happy. One thing I will say is kids with Down syndrome, if you don't challenge them or you don't keep them active, they will sit and do nothing. Okay? So it's up to you to keep them busy, to keep them involved, to keep them doing things, because they would prefer to sit and watch TV and do nothing. You have to be careful of that. Because sometimes that's what I want to do, is just do nothing. But that's not good for them. So I feel like we're always busy now. Anyway, is it hard? Yes, it's hard. Okay.